Hey guys, I'm back. And this is part 2 of Prometheus Fire and Stone Complete Collection. And today we'll be talking about Aliens Fire and Stone. Nolan Gale, Genevieve Dion, Derek Russell are the main characters of Aliens Fire and Stones. These are the things you need to remember about this comic. Aliens Fire and Stone Chapter 1 shows the condition of Hadley's Hope before Ellen Ripley and the Colonial Marines arrived on LV-426. And yes, the situation was really grim for the colonists as the xenomorph continued to spread and kill every living being on LV-426. It was clearly a hopeless situation until some of the survivors got the idea of using a ship known as the Onager to escape the infestation in LV-426. The, the three main characters that I said was Derek Russell, Nolan Cale, and Genevieve Dion are the ones who are in charge of facilitating the escape, or rather, planning the escape from LV-426 going to LV-223. Unfortunately for the colonists, they brought the xenomorphs with them to LV-223. Of course, I have to mention that Derek Russell was surprised that LV-223 is teeming with life. He was expecting it to be a dead moon, and yet now it has a life and an atmosphere. He was wondering how could this be possible, and the records show that LV-223 was a dead moon, wasn't terraformed. Oh yeah, about the xenomorph attack on LV-223. Yeah, you can blame it on Nolan Cale because he didn't tell everyone about it. So basically, this opens up for a life and death situation on LV-223. Xenomorphs versus the colonists. Is this going to be a happy ending? Yeah. Chapter 2 of Aliens Fire and Stone explores the predicament of the survivors and Derek Russell making a discovery about LV-223. He discovers that they were not the first humans on LV-223. They weren't even the first Weyland-Yutani Corporation employees. Well, to be fair, the people in the Prometheus film were Weyland Corporation employees only. Weyland and Yutani were merged back then. And yeah, this comic also features Genevieve Dion and Nolan Cale arguing. Nolan Cale wants to attack the Xenos in order to get the transmitter. And then Genevieve Dion wanted to say, defense, defense. So yeah, back and forth. While Derek Russell is trying to learn what he could about the LV-223. Another thing to note is the survivors of LV-426 are in always constant attack by the xenomorphs. Yes, their situation has become grim, desperate even. And this is all happening while Derek Russell is busy learning. Yeah, he makes a discovery that the forests around them grew, and this is because of alien technology. And yeah, he also discovers that there is another space jockey ship Well, to be honest, it's called an engineer ship, or rather, the Juggernaut. And of course, Derek Russell sets out to find this ship. And yeah, luckily for him, it doesn't have those Xeno eggs that was in LV-426. And he found a hypersleep chamber that's still operational and has engineers in them. Oh yeah, and in the constant alien attacks leads to one colonist and an alien fusing together via the black goo in the river. Chapter 3 of Aliens Fire and Stone starts off with the attack of the Xeno combined with a human creature, and then many people fell victim to this hybrid xenomorph human, and eventually this hybrid was killed by Nolan Cale. They recognized the human fused with the xenomorph. Then after killing the xenomorph human fused hybrid, Nolan Cale finally confesses his sin to the entire survivor camp. He confesses that the reason the xenomorphs are with them on LB-223 is because he was afraid that to be left alone on LV-426. He didn't warn the rest of the crew of what was happening. Of course, Genevieve Dion was furious hearing this because of the many deaths that has occurred on LV-223. Afterwards, Nolan Cale and a group of survivors attacked the xenomorphs in order to get the transmitter and some supplies, and to their horror, they discovered one of the xenomorphs turned into a queen that started laying eggs on LV-223. This doesn't go well with the Nolan Cale's group that attacked the xenomorph, and of course, they die. Nolan Cale was able to acquire the transmitter, but yeah, he dropped it and was exposed to the black goo. And the xenomorph was able to catch him. And because of this, let's just say later on, Nolan Cale started mutating into a human xeno, but not a fusion, more like a mutation or transformation. While Derek Russell in a cave is experimenting with the black goo of what it's capable of. Then the next thing that happens is Nolan Cale led the xenomorphs to the survivor camps, and yeah, they die. Chapter 4 of Eden's Fire and Stone opens up with Derek Russell walking along and salvaging what he can find, encounters Nolan Cale, and of course, Derek Russell was terrified of what he saw of Nolan Cale, now turned into a human xeno monster. Of course, he ponders how did this happen, and he apparently theorized the black goo has something to do with it. Kinda like what happens in Prometheus, the black goo has different effects, depending on how it's applied. And from 1 to 3, yes, Derek Russell was curious, but now we get to see a different side of his emotion. Now he's getting furious, desperate of his situation on LV-223. Of course, his curiosity doesn't really disappear. And yeah, he seems to have accidentally awakened the engineers. And of course, now he theorized that the black goo can be used medicinally. Another thing in this comic that points a reference to the Prometheus film was the transmission that Elizabeth Shaw left, which is under the mountain. Now, we'll get to that in Prometheus Fire and Stone Omega. And of course, everybody dies. I might as well add this, since it's part of the Prometheus Fire and Stone Complete Collection. Aliens Field Report is actually a retelling of the events on the second Alien film in Aliens when the Colonial Marines finally decided to attack the or rather investigate the nesting ground of the xenomorphs. There, yeah, they find some colonists have been impregnated. Yeah, and the story is actually told in the point of view of Hicks. He, he's well known as the one of the survivors in the Sulaco. Yeah, he's also a veteran in using a shotgun. Another thing to note about Aliens Field Report is that there's a scene here where Hicks was looking in the computer monitor and he sees the name of a ship, the Onager. And we all know the Onager was the ship that was used by the colonists on Aliens Fire and Stone Chapter 1. So yeah, Aliens Field Report is actually part of the Prometheus Complete Fire and Stone collection. And I included this in the Alien Fire and Stone review because yeah, it's an alien story arc. Yeah, another thing to note, we get more details about the second Aliens films now told in Hicks' point of view. Hooray! My verdict for Aliens Fire and Stone is that it is weak but necessary. The thing about the storyline is I really find the argument between Genevieve Dion and Nolan Cale to be boring and annoying. But another thing to note is the story is depressing. I mean, in the Aliens film, when the colonial marines arrived, the colonists were already dead. Yeah, they died off screen. But according to this book, yeah, we get to see them die on LV-223. So yeah, no one survives. As I said, it may be weak, but the saving grace here is Derek Russell. He kept this book a bit interesting because, yeah, he was the one who was researching into what the black goo is capable of. We even get to see the engineers because of his curiosity. You know, the space jockeys on the Aliens film and in the Prometheus film, we find out there were engineers left on LV-223. And another thing to note in this story arc, it's necessary because the things that Derek Russell learned was applied to the story arc of Prometheus Fire and Stone when Francis Lane injected a synthetic named Elden, and we get to see the consequences of Francis Lane's action in Alien vs Predator. I'm gonna get to that in the next review. Yeah, to me, Aliens Fire and Stone successfully melded the two franchises, Aliens and Prometheus. So this deserves at least a 7 out of 10. Yeah, that's reason enough to want it.